That's what I'm talking about.
That do the job.
It certainly does. All right, guys, welcome back. This is Eric and Kevin here from Moss Pawn and Gun. You guys haven't met Kevin yet. He's one of the part-time guys up at Moss. He's a Civil War buff like myself, and today we're actually going to be talking about one of the most deadly projectiles ever designed for a small arm, and that's the Minie ball. All right, Claude Minie actually helped design it, and it's a skirted lead projectile. All right, and the way it works is it was designed to be able to be loaded really easily from the muzzle end, and then when the expanding gas pressure from the black powder going off would expand the skirt and make it grab the rifling and arbitrate, and it'd make it a lot more accurate. So how did the Minie ball change warfare?
Well, it changed it quite a bit, Eric. You know, the accuracy on a smoothbore musket is kind of overplayed a little bit. They weren't as bad as people make them out to be, but they were nowhere near these rifles. And these are rifles. You know, a lot of people call them muskets, but they're rifles. They were designed from the ground up with rifling, and they're rifles.
Sure.
You know, and so, you know, it took the effectiveness of the smoothbore, say 200, 300, 900, and every Joe Blow could hit what they shot at.
That's right.
And it devastated the whole war.
Yeah, this projectile really changed the face of warfare in general.
Yeah.
You know, in the old days, a lot of officers at West Point were taught the old Napoleonic era type fighting where you would just attack in large numbers and volley fire. But this projectile changed the face of warfare. One of the things that we want to do with this video today, and we think it's going to be kind of special, we're going to show, well, for one, some nice slow-mo footage. And then also, we're going to shoot these into ballistics gel, and I've actually got some original Minie balls that were actually dug up here in Georgia. So these are Georgian Minie balls that were dug up, excavated in Jonesboro.
Yep.
Okay, so these are legitimate, period-correct Minie balls. We're going to shoot them into some clear ballistics gel, and we're going to shoot, hopefully, some newly cast ones, and we're going to compare the Lee 575 grain Minie ball to the original Minie ball. So us guys in the South, we just call them minis. So let's get down to it. We're going to shoot the ballistics gel, and we're going to hit some steel with them, maybe come up with some other things to do. These things are awesome. Let's get started.
It's going to be fun.
All right. All right, guys. Well, we're going to take a 150-year-old Minie projectile, and we're going to shoot it into some ballistics gel down here. Now, these things are old, so bear in mind that, you know, kind of is what it is there, but we're going to shoot it here. We're running 65 grains of black powder, a Euro Arms 1861 musket, rifle, I should say, and then we're running a CCI musket cap. All right, we'll see if we can punch this ballistics gel. We did test fire a couple of these earlier. Accuracy's kind of spotty. The newly cast versions run a lot better, but hopefully we'll get what we need to see here.
It came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looks like it hit dead center. Let's have a look.
I think so.
Well, guys, there's a reason that the Minie ball was the most deadly thing ever devised for the development of small arms technology. I really was shocked by this result.
Yeah. I've been shooting this for a number of years now because it's my favorite thing to do. I love black powder. I didn't expect this. I really didn't.
Yeah. It punched all the way through the center of our block and then punched all the way through the second block. Now what we've done is we've actually got an additional pair of blocks. I had to salvage a couple and cut them down, and we're going to try to shoot a newly cast one through this same block and see if we can capture one. But I was really hoping that we would capture one of these original Civil War projectiles in the ballistics gel so we can see, you know, maybe the skirting of the bullet as it grabs the rifling, maybe the expansion, because this soft lead will generally just kind of flatten out. Yeah. You know, and that just really goes to show you the way the wounds looked during the Civil War. If you look back at some of the older photographs, sometimes artist depictions of wounds from the Civil War, if you got hit in the limb and it hit the bone, you were done. You were going to lose that limb. And it's just really scary to think that, you know, the face of warfare really changed legitimately with this projectile.
It was a terrifying time. There's pictures, and I've got books that I've read of stories of the soldiers, and you know, you'd be in the hospitals in these old plantations that are 2 levels, and you know, you'd have doctors all in them, and that's what they were doing. You'd have boys throwing limbs off the top of the thing, and it was just that gruesome. It was a horrible war.
Yeah, well, I mean, back then, you know, if a surgeon were to walk by and a guy's got a lung shot or a center mass shot, he'd go, skip over him, he's gone. You're not going to save him. So very deadly projectile. We are going to try one more time. I've got some faith that we might be able to catch one. Let's try. We're going to try one of my newly cast Lees. It's a 575 grain mini ball, pure lead. I cast it out of roofing lead, and we're going to run 60 grains of black. It's a little bit more sedate charge. Maybe it won't be moving as fast. See if we can capture one.
I hope we can.
Let's do it. All right, guys, slight change of plans. We're not going to use one of my newly cast projectiles. I'm going to use another 150-year-old mini projectile. This time we moved up close. I want to make sure the projectile goes dead center of the ballistics gel. I actually added 2 more blocks of ballistics gel behind the original 2 and a large container of water. I am determined to capture this projectile. The penetrating capabilities of this thing are just insane. We noticed when we were observing the ballistics gel earlier that the permanent cavity is pretty damn big. I'm really impressed. So without further ado, this is about the closest that we're going to be able to get here. Did we get a capture?
I think so.
Let's have a look, guys. Whew. This thing needs some damn emissions on it or something. Well, guys, capturing this mini projectile is appearing to be quite elusive for us here. We got a nice dead-on shot in the ballistics gel. Beautiful permanent cavity. Hopefully the slow-mo revealed a lot for us there. The bullet went through the second block, but it began to yaw, and it turned and exited the side of the block at the corner before we were able to actually impact our other blocks or the water jug. So, guys, I don't know what we're going to do, but I tell you what, we're going to try again. Because I want to capture this projectile. It's driving me nuts. So let's do it.
All right.
Same projectile, same load, same distance. Take 2. Let's do it. All right, guys. We are going to capture this projectile eventually if it takes us all day. We've already shot up about $300 worth of ballistics gel, so we're going to make this work. The 15th time's a charm, right? Here we go.
Didn't go in the water.
Hey, you aren't going to believe this. Look what came back at me. Look at that.
No kidding. I told you putting them Confederate bullets in that Yankee rifle was going to do something to you.
Look at that thing, how it flattened out.
Wow.
I don't know what happened, but hopefully the slow-mo will tell. It looked like it hit the block and like literally bounced back. It hit me in the leg. It didn't even hurt. It just felt like somebody throwing a pebble at me.
I can't believe that.
I'm really curious. We're gonna have to look back at the slow-mo on this and see what the hell just happened. Let's have a look. You learn things every day, don't you?
I never would have thought that.
Yeah, so what happened? The projectile went right through the block, exactly where I wanted the shot to go, right through the second block, skewered upward, came out of the block, hit this block on the front like a big block of Jell-O, bounced back, hit me in the leg, and was laying right next to me. It felt like somebody throwing a pebble at me, literally. Right. It didn't hurt at all. It lost all of its energy. And there it is in my hand. So I said we were going to capture a projectile. I wasn't lying. I didn't know I was literally going to catch
you were going to
projectile.
Capture it, right.
But you know what? We do have about 3 or 4 more of these. I'm thinking what happened here is that the base of the bullet did not arbitrate properly, and it didn't grab the rifling, and we just didn't get the velocity we needed to see for it to push on through. So
all we can do is try again.
Well, we also see that this projectile didn't really deform at all after going through all of that gel. Now, I know at this point of the test, you know, we have shot these blocks quite a bit, and they're probably starting to not really give us the scientific result we're really looking to see.
Right.
However, let's try one more time and we're gonna sign the video off. But this whole video, the whole concept I wanted to show is how deadly these mini projectiles really are. And they really just, they carry a lot of energy.
We've proven that without a shadow of a doubt.
Absolutely. So one more time and then we'll close the video out. Let's do it again. All right, guys. Well, you know, it's impossible to replicate that result again. There's no way I'm ever gonna catch a 150-year-old mini ball that comes right back at me and hits me. I'm probably the first Southerner to be shot by a period correct mini like ever since the Civil War. So, you know, I'm probably gonna say I hold that distinction right now. But what we've done is we've taken a newly cast 575 grain mini ball, all right? We cast it out of roofing lead, okay, roof flashing. We got 100 grains of 2F pure black powder and a CCI cap. We're just gonna lay hell to whatever's left here and let's see if it'll catch it, cool. If not, it's just gonna be neat. Now, I wanna see that water splash up in the air. All right, let's make it happen. Oh yeah. Here we go. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't think it went in the water.
We'll see what happened. That was 100 grains. Well, guys, we've been shooting a lot of these original, you know, 150-year-old Civil War mini projectiles today. And one thing I can say is I certainly have a newfound respect.
Oh, yeah.
For what those guys went through.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to go up against, you know, scores of those guys shooting those things and just the sound, that blast. It's like a little mini cannon going off.
All the percussion, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and one thing I noticed about the ballistics gel results, I mean, for one, we weren't able to get the projectile to go straight enough through the gel to ever get the capture we wanted.
Yeah, it's extremely unpredictable.
Yeah, we may have to mix up, I might end up mixing up a humongous block of gel, and we'll try it again in a future video. So if you guys like this kind of thing, let me know. One thing performance-wise I noticed on the 100 grain load that we shot just then, the newly cast one, was that the entrance wound is just insane. You see the size of the entrance hole is so much bigger from that pure lead projectile. It's almost like it just hits and it just dumps that energy. That skirt is also opened up a lot heavier when you got that, you know, that skirt opened up more. I mean, look at the size of that hole. Look at that.
Yeah, and we don't have small hands and it just goes right in there.
Oh, I know. I mean, just to see the permanent cavity that you get from these blocks, I mean, you can really see the damage that projectile is doing as it passes through, and it's just, it's really scary.
It's devastating.
Absolutely.
That's the word for it.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely devastating.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we appreciate y'all watching this video today. I know that some of these concepts might have been a little slapsticky in terms of how we approached it, but we tried our damnedest to catch one. We did sort of catch one.
Yeah.
But anyway, we will approach this in the future. If you guys want to see us do it again, maybe we can try it with a larger chunk of gel or a little bit different size block or whatever. But we appreciate you watching today. This was a lot of fun to make this video. But, you know, one thing we didn't get to see was that container blowing up. So why don't you load that little infield of yours up and blast this thing real quick.
We can handle that.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys, we're going to finish this off with an 1861 Parker Held Muscatoon into that water. I'm not a fan of doing work that don't pay off. I toted that water down here. I'm going to blow it up. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. If you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe, thumbs up. Let's catch you next time.